Welcome back, everybody. Sportsbook review. This is the Puckheads. It is April 4th. March Madness is over, and NHL is just starting to heat up the ice as we've got 3 to 4 games left in the season. I'm starting to heat up the ice with my picks. Dana Lane, he went 1-2 last show, but guess what? After 6 out of 7 shows that were productive, 8 out of 9 that were nothing but positive, all right, Dana Lane's going to bounce back tonight. Dana, how's everything going out there in Las Vegas, and how are you feeling about your momentum picking up here at the tail end of the season?
I feel so good about it, Mike, that when we go 1-2, I'm actually shocked. But that's the way things go. And not only have we been doing well on the Puckheads, I think it's something like 12 out of 16 shows have been successful. But the write-ups every single day, we're about ready to cap off another winning season.
Fantastic, fantastic. And also, viewers, you can catch Dana Lane at Dana Lane Sports on Twitter and also on his webpage at DanaLaneSports.com. All right, Dana, this is when the rubber hits the road. There's some teams that know what they need to do. There's some teams that need a miracle. And there's some teams that might be just taking it easy. So hit us with your first pick.
Yeah, interesting you would say that, Mike, because my first pick is kind of predicated on that premise, and we're going to have 2 picks in one game, and that's going to be between the Edmonton Oilers and the Los Angeles Kings. And, as the season goes on, you try to determine who a team is, what situations or scenarios that they'd like to play in the most. And one thing I found about the Edmonton Oilers is they're a team that likes to play fairly consistently. They're better at playing back-to-back games or having one night off than they are having a couple or 3 nights off. In fact, I've gone back and kind of made sure that added up to what they were, statistically to what I expected them to be. And they have when they've had 2 days rest or more, they've dropped 5 out of their last 7 games, which is exactly the scenario we have tonight against LA. In fact, the Staples Center as well has not been friendly to the Oilers, as they have now dropped 12 out of the last 13 visits. And look, guys, we know that the LA Kings are not going to the playoffs. That ended officially against the Arizona Coyotes. So for me, I think you might see a team that's kind of going to exhale, going to relax, just go out and have fun. The LA Kings are a slight favorite here, which was a little bit of a shock to me. And so we're going to take the Kings tonight, minus $1.12. You can find that at Pinnacle right now. And of course, to piggyback on that, if you like the LA Kings, then you have to like the under in this game, and we do at under 5, minus $1.14.
Yeah, here we go again. We're going to pull another one, Dana. We're going head-to-head. And, I've had some pretty good feel for Edmonton as of late, the last 2 weeks. And here's what I like. I can understand your scenario makes sense, and especially with L.A. I mean, what a way to go out, though, against Arizona. And this is why I think tonight Edmonton continues, their momentum. Even though they've had a couple days off, they cannot afford to let that momentum go. That's what's going to separate this team this year from the teams of the years past, which did not make the playoffs. So I guarantee you that's already been talked about. I love it. I think they go out there and they say, guys, we better start grabbing some momentum on the road because, when we get into the playoffs, we're going to have to get it done on the road. This is a different team. Something has happened with this team. They're grabbing the magic. They're performing on the ice. I'm pulling the trigger, baby. I got them at plus $1.05. I'm taking Edmonton tonight. Head-to-head, Dana.
Hey, Mike, you know what? You will find out early which team has momentum and probably will carry this to a victory. I mean, I have Connor McDavid as the best player in the National Hockey League. I kind of keep those rankings as well. And so what you're going to have to do with McDavid is be physical with them. They certainly have the ability to do that, and that means Anze Kopitar, which we'll see plenty of McDavid tonight, is going to have to get a body on him. If he is unable to do that and Connor McDavid is skating free, which you'll see early on, you're gonna win that bet. But I think LA is going to come out and play carefree hockey, be extremely physical, and let's not forget that the Kings are still one of the best defensive teams in the league.
No, and you're right. And I want your opinion on this for the viewers because we want to give the viewers the best edge we can. And through the years, Dana, when you have a team like Edmonton, okay, and if you reverse it, it's the Detroit Red Wings that aren't going to the playoffs, all right? They know they're now in uncharted territory. It's been a little while, all right? Don't you think that they cannot afford to lose their way? They cannot afford to take a night off on the road. And then on the other flip of the coin, doesn't it really sink into the LA Kings that, you know what, guys, we have been in such a demise the last few years. Yes, we're a good defensive team, but something is not sparking there. You know it. The LA Kings have lacked that spark now for a little bit. Don't you think there may be some LA Kings guys tonight just mailing it in saying, God, I just can't wait to get home and drink a beer and do the last thing in the world is what I want to do is play hockey?
Well, Mike, there's a few teams that you could say that about and a few teams that you would think that about, but is not the case. And, the perfect example is the team that they just got through losing to is the Arizona Coyotes. And, you hear people around the books and around town kind of talk about the Coyotes like, they're pushovers, and they are not a pushover. They've got this weekend, they had tremendous goaltending from Louis Domingue and Mike Smith, and they have not quit whatsoever. Now, if you look at a team like Colorado, certainly you can say that's a team that's really mailing it in.
Hey, Dana, I don't want to interject. Yeah. I don't want to interject. I agree, but there was a time earlier when Arizona was damn near a laughing stock, and I remember they couldn't. I mean, they could not find the back of the net for nothing. Now, I understand now they're starting to maybe turn that on, and that's what separates organizations that get ready in a positive manner for the next year. So obviously, that's what you're thinking. They've grabbed some momentum, and maybe they're looking towards next year in the positive way. Correct?
Well, yeah, I mean, I will say this. There's a difference between teams mailing it in, not being able to get it out of their own end, just being sloppy, throwing the puck in front of the slot area without any intended or any intention of where it's going. And a team, like Arizona, where Dave Tippett had, he's had to crack the whip a couple times this season, but I just don't get that feel from them. There's a difference between teams mailing it in and still playing hard, but just not having the horses to get over the hump on a nightly basis. And I think that's where Arizona falls.
Absolutely, and that's why I was kind of leaning on you with your experience. And again, when you're an analyst and you're broadcasting games on a daily basis, you've got that inside feel. And again, at the end of our day, it's about giving the SBR viewers that edge and letting them, find out that in National Hockey League there's a lot of money to be made. All right, hit us with your third pick, Dana.
Third pick, we're going to go over in the Chicago Avalanche game tonight. You're getting 5.5, shaded to the under, but you're getting plus money on the over. And, last time these guys played, they put up 9 goals. And I'm not a guy who likes to, in fact, I like to go the opposite with what we just saw a lot of times. But again, you kind of figure out that this is an Avalanche team that's quit. They're playing Chicago, which, yes, I know that a lot of the regulars won't get the same amount of minutes that they're used to, but they did just get through getting beat this past weekend against the Bruins on home ice. They still have plenty of firepower, and even if they give the minutes to a guy like Marian Hossa, DeMarcus Kruger, I still like Chicago's second and third line better than I like Colorado's first line. This is a team that has tremendous depth, and so much so you got a guy like Patrick Kane that playing on their second line. So I think that this game is going to go over. It's worth a chance getting the plus money. Plus, I think Colorado is going to give Chicago plenty of opportunity to get back on track with their special teams. Their special teams been absolutely horrible, which is something that it's been kind of a bugaboo for Chicago most of the season. But I envision Chicago getting plenty of opportunities on the power play and having success and at least 1 or 2 goals on special teams. So I'm going to go with the over, getting plus money against the Avalanche.
And what's
tonight.
the plus money you're getting?
Plus 110.
Plus 110. Yeah, I think it's real important. I think those Blackhawks, they got to figure out, the special teams, the penalty kill, because this is that time when them teams that take it to the next level, Dana, this is what separates them, and it's finding out the fact that, through the year, this was our weakness, and we better make it our strength as we get into the playoffs. All right, as a whole, who do you like going into the playoffs, and who might be a little dark horse this year?
Every time I get asked this, I mean, it just never changes with me, Mike.
And I'm going to say you're going to lay out Pittsburgh. Am I correct?
I still love the Pittsburgh Penguins. I mean, they certainly can only get healthier. They're still winning a ton of hockey games, despite the fact that, half of their, they have 8 guys out, 9 guys out. And that's been a consistent problem for the last 3 or 4 weeks. I'm not sure still what's wrong with Chris Letang, but I guess we'll find out here pretty soon. But it speaks to Pittsburgh's depth. And one thing I look for in the playoffs is which team has the most depth. And I don't think that there's any choice other than the Pittsburgh Penguins. And as far as the dark horse is concerned, if the Boston Bruins get in, I think they're still going to make a lot of noise, and I love the fact that they're in that second spot now in the Atlantic. That means that they will play the third place Atlantic team if it stays the way it is right now, instead of being in that wild card spot where they would face either Montreal or Washington.
Well, great stuff, and I had a feeling. I knew it, Dana. I knew you were sticking with Pittsburgh, and you know what? There's no reason not to. This team has experience. They know how to win at this level. They believe in themselves, and you know what? It might be that year for a back-to-back with the Pittsburgh Penguins taking home another Stanley Cup. All right, viewers, you heard it. This is the Puckheads. I'm Mike Brenner. That was Dana Lane. We're going to go ahead and be back to you on Thursday, give you a more, closer look at the playoff scenario then, because a lot's going to be decided in the next few days. Dana, as always, it's great doing work with you, my man. Have a great day. Let's cash those hockey tickets.
Yes, sir. Appreciate your time, and best of luck to you, Mike.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.